The Furry Friends Animal Shelter is a non-profit, no-kill organization dedicated to providing shelter and love to abandoned, lost, and rescued animals in the Barrie, Ontario community. We provide care to almost 1,000 animals each year, mostly cats and kittens, though we also care for abandoned dogs. We do not euthanize healthy animals for any reason. Cats we rescue include domestics from abuse or neglect situations or facing euthanasia at overcrowded pounds. We also work with feral or wild cats. In Barrie alone, 5,000 feral cats struggle to eke out a subsistence. Furry Friends would like to see a coordinated capture, spay, and release program to get this overpopulation under control, but that's not happening. So we do what we can with dedicated volunteers and funding from generous donors and supporters. The problem is feral cats can have up to 4 litters of kittens a year, with an average of 4 to 6 cats per litter, and we just can't keep up. Recent changes in the law mandating cat licensing and prohibiting house cats from running free will help in the long run, but in the meantime, we do what we can to help feral cats live, get spayed, and find good homes where they can live out their days warm, well-fed, and loved. Neil is a long-time dedicated volunteer who, with the help of 4 or 5 others, works very hard to make life bearable for feral cats until we are able to take them into our overcrowded shelter for fixing and domesticating. He also helps us at the shelter with his handyman skills. A huge part of Neil's big heart goes out to the feral cats of Barrie. Twice a day, 7 days a week, no matter what the weather, he fills his van with donated food and does his rounds of numerous feral cat hotspots around Barrie. At each spot, the first thing he wants to know is if his wild cats and kittens are okay. Most of them have been conditioned to come to his whistle or clanging on the food bowls he's left for them, and will at least show their faces. He names a lot of them and uses their names to summon them. Once he's comfortable they're okay, he collects the dishes, tops them up, and sets them in regular spots. If the calling didn't bring him out, this sure will. As you watch him caring for the ferals, you begin to understand that these are his cats. Though it's a major commitment for him to care for the cats, you can feel that he gets a lot back from them. You can sense the peace he feels knowing his cats are well and healthy, and his great pleasure when they actually let him pet them. It's this connection with the cats that drives all Furry Friends volunteers to invest uncountable hours to do so much for them. As Neil wraps up his time with each group of cats, he points out the shelters he's built for them from old scraps of wood and blankets so that the cats have a dry place in summer, but even more important, a warm place during Barrie's harsh winters. The wildlife is difficult enough for adult cats, but for kittens it is often deadly. Raccoons, foxes, and coyotes often make meals of entire litters. The kittens that survive to adulthood, though, join the breeding population, contributing exponentially to the feral population problem. For those reasons, Furry Friends volunteers will locate litters and capture them or trap them to be raised in safety, fixed, and adopted out. Our primary goal is to catch the parents of the litter to be fixed and even released back into the wild to live out their lives without adding to the problem. Their lifespan will probably only be 4 years in the wild. Even reaching this short lifespan requires that they be ghosts, unseen as much as possible, that they be lightning fast to escape it when danger finds them, and that they be stealthy hunters to find food. All these skills contribute to the great difficulty in trapping them to end their prolific reproduction. It's not unusual to go back to a female's nest numerous times a year to take kittens out. In this case, several Furry Friends volunteers entered the backyard of an elderly woman who had made makeshift shelters for the feral cat's kittens. She and the neighbors were being overrun by them. It was pretty simple to scoop up these scruffy little balls of fur. Timing is the key. They had to be old enough to eat solid food. We hope this litter was that. They are tucked into carriers, ready for transport to a foster home where they'll receive the intensive caring they need until they become strong and independent. There's almost always health issues, and this bunch was no different. Several of them appeared to have fairly bad eye infections, so their eyes crusted up and were half closed as a result. Plus, they were filthy. None appeared to have grave problems, though. We wouldn't know if the kittens were old enough to eat solid food until we got back to the foster home and tried it. One by one, they found the food and dug in, which was a great relief. Fosters are volunteers who take cats in for Furry Friends temporarily when they need extra care that can't be provided at the shelter. Pregnant cats go to foster homes to have their litters. Seriously ill cats go for the care they need to get healthy. Cats with emotional problems go to become social and stable. It's difficult for fosters because there's an emotional bond that forms by the time they are fit for adoption, and then the cat leaves. Furry Friends' greatest expense is veterinary care. 71% of donated income goes to health care for the cats. It's a great burden, but adopting unhealthy cats isn't an option. So it's off to the vet for the litter to assess their overall health, take care of issues like the eye problems, and to get them inoculated. We are lucky that almost all the vets in Barrie offer us their services at reduced rates as their contribution to our efforts. This litter turned out to be quite healthy. With the loving care of their fosters, they will soon be fluffy little bundles of joy that will be adopted out easily. People love kittens, so they adopt out far more readily than adults. Once the kittens have had their first inoculations, they're ready to go to PetSmart's adoption center to find their forever homes. Though we have our own shelter that houses over 100 cats, we don't adopt a lot of cats out of it for a number of reasons. We also list our cats ready to adopt on our website. Because the PetSmart Adoption Center is designed and built specifically for animal adoption, the vast majority of our cats are adopted out of their store in Barrie. We are incredibly grateful to them for the time they give us. Kittens don't usually spend much time at PetSmart awaiting adoption. This litter was no different. They were all adopted within a day or two, and now they're all enjoying the good life in their forever homes. It doesn't always work out this way, but it did for these kittens. It was hard for their foster to part with these cuties, but for every cat that goes out, there's 5 or 10 more that need our help. Bringing the next needy kitten or cat in with its own personality, needs, and challenges, while knowing the last ones are happy, balances the pain of separation. Fostering kittens and cats in need is just one of the functions Furry Friends volunteers perform. It's a major time commitment for our people to maintain our shelter and care for the 100+ cats living there, to move cats and equipment in and out and staff the PetSmart Adoption Center every 2 weeks, to raise awareness and fundraise through events, direct mail, our website, and much more for our entirely donation-supported organization, and to administer it all. Without any salaried staff, we rely on our dedicated and passionate volunteers to get it all done. Are you passionate about helping the helpless with us? Your monetary donation or time commitment would be a huge help. Check our website at furryfriendshelter.org for more info or to get involved.